incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And look at this. They're keeping the punter on the sideline. They're going to go for it here on the opening drive.
Go. Waiting.
26 Mike. 26 Mike.
List 5-7.
Get that quarterback, D-Rod. Get that.
They do go for it. It's Wentz. That's to his running back, complete. He cannot wiggle free. They stop him at the line on fourth down. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Rams get the football in outstanding field position. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Haloti Ngata.
Hell, you won! Orange.
To throw on second down is gone. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up a third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Zero.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. Then he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. They're running with Gurley. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. Todd Gurley unable to get it past the line. And the Eagles defense able to hold. Well, CD, the NFL held its awards show the night before the Super Bowl, and as you and I had speculated the last few weeks, Patrick Mahomes, MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, and for the second straight season, how about Aaron Donald, Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah, Donald was expected. We knew that was going to happen. Mahomes, we thought would happen. But there was that school of thought that maybe Drew Brees might walk away with the MVP since he's never won one. But Mahomes, a deserving winner. How about the Offensive Rookie of the Year? Saquon Barkley with the Giants. Many thought it might be Baker Mayfield with Cleveland.
Yeah, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Darius Leonard of the Colts, and the Colts Comeback Player of the Year, Andrew Luck, and very deservedly so.
I would say that for sure, and he beat out J.J. Watt, who also would have been a deserving winner. Coach of the Year, I thought was a close vote, or probably should have been closer to me, because I thought Anthony Lynn from the Chargers deserved some respect, but Matt Nagy of the Bears, he ends up winning the award. They went 12-4 in his rookie season.
And then last one we need to mention, Chris Long of the Eagles, well-deserved Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year. Congrats to all.
Yeah, how about that? Donated his first 4 game checks to fund a literacy program that donated free books and mentoring services for families. And remember, last season, he donated every game check to causes that he felt strongly about.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now remember, they were unsuccessful earlier in this first quarter. Going for it on 4th. They're going to try a second time. They'll try and throw for it here. going up top. And that's caught inside the 35. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward.
Hey. 4 down.
Throwing on first is Wentz. It's brought in left side by Tate. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Alshon Jeffrey, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. And he'll bang that one through. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The football going back over to the Rams here, and you think back to that Super Bowl. So they average almost 33 points a game during the regular season. Then they get into the Super Bowl in the first half, 6 drives, 6 punts, and, of course, they only muster 3 points all game long.
The punter, Johnny Hekker, got quite the workout, didn't he? He ended up going 8 straight drives where he ran on the field and punted the football before a third-quarter field goal on drive number 9. There were times during the season he didn't punt it 8 times in a 3-game span. So that was very unusual. But let's look at the positives for them. They were 4-12 in 2016 where the Rams, they were in the Super Bowl after the 2018 season. That's pretty significant.
Yeah, and they'll get Cooper Kupp back next year as well and have a lot of the pieces back to make another run. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
12. Watch tight end. 5. 53. Check.
A shotgun snap for Goff. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on third down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense.
And look at this. It's a fake. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Corey Graham. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
You've got to know as a quarterback that's going to be tough to outthink this guy in the defensive backfield. He's been at it 11 years now, so he knows all the ins and outs of the position, and he's in the right spot there to come up with the interception.
Black, come on. Here we go. Waiting.
4 down.
Shorty.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. Oh, he's going backwards. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Tyson. Done. 120.
Kill.
They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Fly to the ball. Run. Easy work. It's easy work, and it's coming again.
Let's go.
On play action, it's Wentz. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire. And they did, holding them to a field goal.
Before this next drive gets going, we need to discuss the Hall of Fame inductees. There will be 8 in the 2019 class. We got Champ Bailey, Tony Gonzalez, Ty Law. Who else am I forgetting in there?
Well, how about a big guy, a lineman, Kevin Mawai, who was absolutely terrific in his career. How about Ed Reed with the Baltimore Ravens and the great job he did in the secondary there? Pat Bowlen, Gil Brandt as contributors, the owner of the Broncos and the longtime scout with the Cowboys. And I love the senior committee bringing in Johnny Robinson, the safety with Kansas City.
Tony Gonzalez was a first ballot guy. And, of course, when I hear Ty Law's name, you think, wow, he started this great Patriots dynasty that we're still living in.
You're exactly right. And the Patriots, with all of their championships, probably underrepresented in the Hall of Fame.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
14.
Back live now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going. They'll need to convert a 3rd and 7, though, to start things out. Goff now looks to throw. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. Skirts by at the 15. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word.
Yeah.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Well, off topic, but we'd be remiss if we didn't point out what else was happening Super Bowl weekend. The Madden 19 Club Championship, second major this season, 2 more to follow. And our winner, Pauvin, representing the Oakland Raiders. He took down the Vikings, and your favorite, Charles, I.B. Strafen. He had to reach for the ibuprofen after a 38-24 beatdown in the final.
Well, you know, if he was representing the Oakland Raiders, the Vikings went down, and they went down hard. That's how the Raiders do it.
How about Pauvin, though, wins $100,000 for his efforts, also won Super Bowl tickets for the next day, unselfishly gave them to his father and his brother.
How about that? That's pretty cool. Congratulations, Pauvin. Way to go.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Second and 10, Goff again. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. Goff to Woods as the Rams move the chains. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Gurley. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Shell.
24 is the mic.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Jester. Dula. Turbo touch.
Throwing on third. Goff into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Throwing now is Wentz. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. His throw caught at about the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 23 yards on the play. The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5.
Hey, 4 down.
Here we go. Back man. 120.
Here's Wentz to throw. Flush to his right. And he fires one incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Hey, ram. Go. 120. Go. Quick touch.
He's going to get it running right. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. So now things get interesting on 3rd and goal from the 1.
This almost becomes a Darwinian call, doesn't it? Almost survival of the fittest here. I know we can go all cliche. I'll go ahead and do it. Who wants it more here? Who has a better leverage at the line of scrimmage? Let's go and see what happens.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Carson Wentz with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. And maybe the defense caught a little by surprise there that he took off and got in?
Yeah, I would think so, because if you're analyzing it from that side of the ball, you're thinking running back, fullback. Takes you a while before you get to the quarterback.
Elliott good with a PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. While we have a second here. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League takes us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. The City of Angels showing it can be loud and raucous. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad emerged from the tunnel. They're ready for football and ready to watch their Rams do battle with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And we are underway here in Los Angeles. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League takes us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Who said the crowds wouldn't embrace football being back in L.A.? You certainly couldn't tell that by what we saw a few moments ago. These folks are pumped up as their Rams get set to do battle with the Philadelphia Eagles. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Let him go. Black 20.
Shift. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up. Shift.
Louis.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. For Gurley, the end to his season, Charles, was interesting. The late season injury, everybody said, look, we swear he's 100%, but he didn't get the carries or production that he normally got.
I thought what was very strange about it was that it happened in the last 2 games. 5 touches in the NFC Championship game at New Orleans, then only 10 carries in the Super Bowl for 35 yards. But against Dallas in the divisional playoffs, he ran for 116 yards and looked like his old self. So unless there's an injury, they got some splaining to do in Los Angeles about why Todd Gurley's usage went way down in the 2 most critical games of the year.
Throw complete right side to Cooks. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. The interesting note on Cooks, by the way, Charles, obviously, that he was on the losing end of the last 2 Super Bowls. He lost to the Patriots, and he went to the Rams, and he got beat by the Patriots.
Hard to believe, but he put out a nice performance in Super Bowl 53. 8 catches, 120 yards, but there were 2 critical plays that he would love to have back. Wide open in the end zone, Jared Goff missed him. And then another one, he had the ball in his hands, and a big hit by Duron Harmon knocked it free. He might very well have been the hero of the Super Bowl if those went his way.
Great season, though. 80 catches, career high, 1,204 yards. On 1st and 10, Goff. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Back to the air. Goff on 2nd down. Trying to lay one up deep. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Touchdown, L.A. Brandon Cooks, 60 yards. And the Rams are going to take a first quarter lead. And he's got it up and through. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. The tackle there by LaMarcus Joyner.
I call that play a success. And sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Come on now, oh, come on now. Let's go. On the ball. Loose by 7. Black.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And that's incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Go. Hey, ram. 81.
Working from the gun, Wentz. That's into the hands of Wallace over the middle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that 1st down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Come on now. Let's go.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this 1st quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. From the gun, it's Wentz. Finds a seam inside the 40. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. A 1st down for the Eagles. Wentz finding the former Raven Wallace. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Come on now. Let's go.
Snap coming at 1. Now Wentz. He's able to find Wallace. And he gets it down to the 32. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Dante Fowler able to track him down for a loss of 13. And it'll bring up 4th down. And off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. And this score will stay right where it is. And the Rams getting set to go now. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together, but I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
Gurley, of course, was right in the mix for a rushing title, but missed the final couple weeks of the year and ended up finishing 3rd with 1,251 yards, but did have a league-high 17 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, the first in Sean Alexander in 2003 and 2004 to lead the NFL in total touchdowns 2 years running. How about 2 years in a row he doesn't get a chance to win a rushing title? This year because of injury, the year before because they rested him in the last game. And the first year he said, it doesn't matter much. This year he admitted he really wants to win one of those rushing titles.
And you know one surprising nugget is that he's the only guy to rush for 1,000 yards in each of the last 2 seasons. A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down, couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
And you just know when that play call came in,